got for selling me clothes, tuppence for selling me blanket. If ever I live for the soldier again, devil shall be me sergeant.
Right, ladies and gents, as I intimated, sort of last time in my last film, a concealment belt, covert belt, survival belt, any sort of belt, whatever you want to name it. But I'm going to show you is, you've seen this before, and I'll link to the film. It literally is a belt, okay, that's sealed by Velcro, okay. That's it, simple as that. Dead easy to do. Ideal first project, okay, gentlemen. Obviously, that's where the body would go. I'm quite limited by where I can film here, but for those, it just replaces any buckle that's going to, you know, dig in your gonads or whatever, or if you've got a Bergen strap around you and that type of stuff, it can be uncomfortable. So obviously there it is. It's just a circle now, joined by Velcro. And if people think, oh, that belt, that Velcro there isn't going to be very strong, Lee, I can't remember his YouTube channel name. Obviously, sent him off one, and he's attached. He's got it on his kegs. He's put a carabiner on there, and literally, and he's inside of it, and he's doing a star jump, off the branch, completely off the floor. So this will take a man's weight. Yeah, okay. But there you go. So there's no two worries about that. And I'll try and link to the film that I did and show people how to make these things. They're not hard to do at all. What I'll do is I'll just bring you back when the aircraft goes over. Right, ladies and gents, aircraft's gone. So where was I? Yeah, just a belt. We'll take a human being's weight, if that makes sense. So an emergency push, I'm sure if you put a figure of 8 carabiner down there, you can have sale with this. You would need to be very much an emergency. Now, this gentleman, very generous gentleman, asked me to, well, he said, what about putting a, because I've done him one of these, and by generous, he's a gentleman that done the Tanto knife from Scott Sweat's blade, and I think he earned about 400 odd quid. Well, nearly 500, I think, for Help Heroes. And he's just messaged me and said, can you put a zip in a little concealment belt and that, so it wasn't a big, massive conversation, but I said, just leave it with me. So anyway, ladies and gents, I've not seen anybody do this, but that's the normal belt. And what I've done, as opposed to sewing it, because it's double strength, double thickness, if that makes sense, as opposed to bringing it down and sewing it down, I always wondered, and this is something I've had a mind to do for a long while, is to make, I don't know if you see me get my finger in there. Now, you are limited by sort of space, I suppose, but we can still get loads of stuff in this. This is a tube that runs all the way round, okay, and I'll show you where it comes out. So, again, that's what I've done there. And again, you can see, so if needed be, you're going to be thinking how you're going to get this in and out. If needed, there's a stick, you can poke that stick all the way through to push whatever's in the belt out the other side. Okay, so that's been thought of. It's not, if I just sewed it up and it was one sort of tube, you'd not get stuff out. But that opens up that side. It's still by Velcro. Now this is a prototype. I'm going to do a little bit more robust, bigger bit of Velcro on that, but I'm going to take us back to this side, which you wouldn't even know that's there. And there's that, looks like a cobra's or a cobra mouth there. As I brought you back to was again, Keith 0 pence has made me some more of these, and well, I mean, this is my one now. The gentleman's one that's going to go into this knife is obviously David's grabbed it and he's going to do like a Kydex, just a slip cover. So when this is pushed through into that, as I'll show you in a moment, when it's in the small of his back, say roughly there, it's only gonna press flat against, and that's probably not a bad way to have a blade like this. And David's got one now, I think. Dodgy Dave's got one, Big Marty, and this is my one. These are cracking little blades, I tell you what. And to say that they're not sharp is an understatement. And here comes my aeroplane coming back. But anyway, the sharpness of the blade isn't what we're talking about now. I'll bring you back in a sec. Right, ladies and gents, so we've got this space here all the way through the belt. Now, obviously, as we said, it's nice to have, I mean, push comes to shove, if that's all you've got, that's the best survival knife in the world. And like I say, even David Fairs is, well, he just put one straight into his kit. Just do appreciate you making a few of them for us there, Keith. But literally, Kydex sheath, obviously, that David's working on, and you see where that is. I'll just shut that now. You'd not want it on the side, you need that because it's a solid bit of metal in the small of your back, so it's the only thing it's ever going to do is press in, ladies and gents. But you know, that's in there exactly, you know, as and when you need it. But what I'm going to do is just pull it out a little bit. So it's only like a prototype. And if you imagine there now, that's going to have a piece of string around that little hole, so it's in the back, so that can be pulled out, okay, because that's going to be the hardest item to get out. But like I say, it's a complete tube, so you can just push a stick through it and everything will come out the other end, if that makes sense, because that's got a velcro opening and that one's got a velcro opening. But now you think, well, that's not a very great deal of space, you know, what on earth can I get in there? Well, I shall show you. These little things can crush up there, the little fire starters. And these are the sort of things that you'd have at the side of the belt, you know, on your waist sort of there, because they're very flexible. We're not worried if they bend or break or anything like that. Okay, so you can have, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. We're talking water sterilisation tablets. Now, anything that's going in this belt, obviously you put in, there's some first aid plasters and there and that, okay, ladies and gents. Anything going in there is obviously going to be waterproof because you're going to put it in there and you're going to forget about it until you need it, okay. Hence that way, if that makes sense. But that's what you do with some sterilisation tablets. Here we go, ladies and gents. Let's have a look. There's 12 litres of water there, and you can get a load more in there. Now a little bit of plastic round there. So we've got a knife in there. We've got sterilisation in there, and you just keep pushing it down because you've got the whole of that length to take it. I.e., ladies and gents, and there's the other open bit. Okay, there's one open bit and there's one open bit. Okay. So I'm going to pull them out because I'm not ready to do it, and this is what you put inside of it is going to be very, very subjective because it's what you want to put inside there. Like I say, got the nice steri tabs and that type of stuff. This is just a few things I've grabbed this morning. Yeah, the little fire starters, the B&Q, Sainsbury's things, they're absolutely brilliant, they are. You know, we're talking about sanitizer wipes, and all these things are quite squashy and move aboutable, so you can actually find, once you've got the length of that belt, you know, it's 32 inches, there's a lot of gear you can put in there, and you just keep pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down. I'll bring you back in a sec. Blinking aeroplanes, best I don't swear, eh? Right, ladies and gents, some people use a condom to carry water. These are Ziploc bags, 2 of them there, so there's 1.5 litres worth of water there. Put them on. But again, and these are ideal to have on the side of you because they will bend, so you've got to have ability to carry water. I'm not telling you what to put in the belt, I'm not telling you what to carry because it's subjective. You stick what you want in there. But again, there's a way of carrying water there. This belt's all still very flexible, so the knife would be sort of here, you know, your fire starters and, you know, anything you wanted in there, your tablets, your water purification tablets, you know, plasters, whatever you want. You won't get a field dressing in there. Cordage, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you can put some, you know, do it all up into a nice bow, and then if necessary just shove it through there. And I would have the string to be the first thing out, to be honest, because it's the least flexible. But what I have got, and when I do eventually, once I've, you know, got past the prototype stage, some of this very, very thin but highly strong stuff, and again, do it up in like a bow. So, and then each at the front there and at the front this side, there'll be a big wedge of this that, as much as I can get in, and about that long. Because cordage, as we know, is very, very important. You can't really build anything or repair anything without your cordage. And like I say, that stuff will probably is very, really strong string. You know, and I tell you what, just as a little, there's the little lighters, and obviously I normally always, when you get a lighter like this, wrap some elastic band around the top to prevent that going down. So, you know, there's the little diddy lighters, you'll find them on the stalls. And again, this can all be pushed in and pushed down. There are a little lighter. And that's whacked in there, ladies and gents, and you know, you'd never know it was there. This is just be holding your belt up. I'm not saying what scenario this will be used, but you know, a survival belt, I don't think I've come up with that. I mean, Big Martin, the big fella's just seen that and he's just yeah, gone, wow, yeah, I want one of them. If you can make me one of them, Mac. And yeah, of course I'll make that boy anything he wants. So you've got what, I'm not going to keep going on about what you're going to put in there, ladies and gents, because that's up to you and it's subjective. But you know, there's your normal belt. It'll keep your kegs up, and when you want to need to use it, you've got that there. And again, there's the knife. It hasn't got a cover on it. Can be. I'm going to put it in front ways. Careful, because there's a Keith knife, so it is sharp. And again, I envisaged that the knife's that long, being at the back, in the small of the back, with a little plastic cover on it, so that you know the actual blade area is covered. And again, a little bit of string to make that easy to pull out. And well, I'm going to talk about the knife here just in the general film, but like, ladies and gents, so that's like the Mac tightwad. You know, I've not seen nothing like that. I'll tell you what I'll do. Just get the old. Ever so nice to be able to do like that. And behind that, you've got the water carriers, you've got your sterilising tablets, you've got the cord that you want, you know, little fire starters, and you know the ones I make out of the cotton mops, you know, with the candle wax. I've got them here somewhere, but ladies and gents, you're getting the drift, aren't you? That can go in there, pushed all the way around. You've got all of that space. You can carry a hell of a lot of gear in there, okay? As long as you keep it to either flat or no bigger than that, no bigger than the knife, your quid's in. So that's it. That's the. I will show you how to make one. I was doing a how to make this one yesterday, but my camera battery went. Do you know, I'll bring you back after that plane's gone. And before the next aeroplane comes along, here we can see, you know, knife in one side, your lighters, and all the way down there, all the way around, you can store stuff. Contact, way out. As long as you can get it into that area. Again, you can push it out, in and out with a stick. There's some bits there. I just threw in the bag this morning. The little fire lighters, the big lighters, obviously steri tabs, plastic seal lock bags for water carriers. You know, you can take whatever's in your little survival tins and put it in your belt. But yeah, that's a prototype. That I've already got a couple of things I'm going to do to the next one, which will be the one I'm going to send the gentleman. And obviously, well, one for Big Martin so far, but they're not that hard to do. And I will do a how to film how I made it. Okay, not too long and well within anybody's capabilities, because there's nothing flash on this, nothing fancy. And again, once you've got all your gear in, push that down, secures it in, and again, be careful, because that's a very sharp knife. You know, that's there. In fact, that would actually go underneath there. You wouldn't even know it was there, ladies and gents. Especially if that's just holding your kegs up. And you can have that just round your waist. You don't even need to be holding it, you know, your trousers up. But yeah, that's there was quite a few comments on my last film. I can't reply to all the comments because there's not a reply button. But yeah, so I'll leave that there, because that's a pre-prototype belt, and this is mainly so gentleman can see what it is, and if he's got anything or anything he wants changed, he can show me. Because the only thing I'm going to change on that is a little bit of the Velcro and a few other little minor details. But yeah, for virtually not a lot of cost, a concealment belt. Now, we've got a Keith there, Big Martin there, you know, he's all a master with the paracord, about wrapping paracord around this. It can be done, he says, but then it makes it more than it is, and it's going to make it stand out. Like I say, if you want some cordage, you can find loads of this, you know, a bank line and stuff like that to stick in there, like, you know, do it up in a little bow, a little hank, and then push it through. If you need to have 3 hanks in there, then that's fair enough, but you can carry a lot of gear in here. So yeah, ladies and gents, next time you'll see one of these. May not be this one, there'll be one I build, because this is the prototype, and I've already got a couple of ideas. So take care on that, ladies and gents, and as always, thanks for watching my films. They're like little pellets, as long as that all curled up like shavings. Yeah, yeah. They're brilliant. One of them, and they boot for ages. Yeah, so did you put them at lights? Right, ladies and gents, back on these little Keith 0 pence knives. Obviously that's the one. Well, Keith has just given me another one, and the other two I'll give to the lads. Cracking little bit of kit, really loving it. Like I say, it can disappear in that belt, which there'll be a film you can see. But yesterday, and I'll link to the film, Big Martin popped down to see him, and you know, as David said, if that's all you've got, and this is your knife, I'll take that out for the moment, because there's a reason why that's in there. Because this is what you did with Zero yesterday, mate, wasn't it?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
And again, and all pucker sharp, right? I'll try and link to your film there, Martin, when I'm doing this. But I'll try and link to your film. But as David said, there's a perfectly good example of an improvised knife with a decent sort of sized handle, ladies and gents. Obviously it's very rough and ready, but that was attached to a stick, Rambo style, and strange there, little ideas that, you know, keep it simple. That Keith said if you to stop that coming back into and splitting the wood as it would do, okay, just push something like that through there. Okay, you cut it so it was a bit neater, but again, and you know, there you go. Let's have a little bit of a sheave with some wood, you know, and you've got a very workable knife. Whereas before, you wouldn't have had nothing on you. And that's the beauty of this thing. And it's not solid, but there you go, ladies and gents. I'll just make sure that's in frame. There's the little knife. And, you know, we are talking primitive, but guess what? Keep it simple, keep it stupid, and it will work. So Keith, obviously you're a top boy, a legend. Thanks for doing them, the extra ones, and so quick, mate, unbelievable. As always, mate, if you see anything, you know, that I'm making, job done, goes round, comes round. But yeah, cracking knife, and that'll be maybe the only one you've got on you, because you know, different scenarios happen, don't you? And as you've seen so far, I think I caught you on film, David's put that straight into a fire kit that he always carries on his belt. Doesn't need to do anything more, doesn't even any fancy sheaves, because it's inside a metal tin. Knowing David, he's going to do a small little Kydex cover for it, but job done, ladies and gents.